My name is Stan Farmer. I am Director of International Financial Planning at Walker Condon. I have been working as a financial advisor serving the expat community for the last decade, and started in financial advisory all the way back in 2004 at Merrill Lynch in Minneapolis. On the weekends, nowadays my wife and I have a very young son who was born this year. We're taking the stroller out, we're taking walks on the nature trails, we're having as much grilled food as possible, and just relaxing a little bit. So part of living overseas, I think I became addicted to soccer, as we call it, right? To football, right? There wasn't a lot of U.S. sports on the telly during the weekend days. So I'd watch Premier League soccer, I'd watch La Liga, which is the Spanish league. I'd watch Serie A, and became really in love with soccer. So my passion is to watch as much soccer as I can and to cheer the U.S. men's national team on whenever. Originally, I went to law school. I practiced law for 7 years. I was in litigation and working for larger agribusiness companies. I met the brother-in-law of a partner in my firm who was over at Merrill Lynch, and just instantly, it kind of clicked for me that this might be something that I would be interested in doing. So I went over and talked to him and his partner, and just I was immediately sold on it and fell in love with doing what I do. My wife was African and from Angola, and Angola was the fastest growing economy in the world. So at the very end of 2006, I moved to Luanda, Angola, and ended up working in private equity real estate development. So I used my investment background and knowledge and my legal background and knowledge to help put that together. And that private equity movement led us to open an office in Dubai and later Lisbon. I knew from firsthand, from my own experience, and really born from ignorance, about how complicated life would become if you were an American overseas. Unlike my other colleagues, I worked with people from Portugal, from South Africa, from Australia, and we were all hanging out in Dubai together, only this guy was paying taxes back home and they weren't, right? And I, got tuned into the fact that, I needed to, report my foreign accounts, any type of pooled investment that I would have gotten involved with. I started to understand and dig that out while I was an expat. And then when I came back and I saw, somebody was looking for somebody to work in an expat firm, I thought, well, this is my calling. This is a real no-brainer. When we say the expat team and we work with expats, we just mean in the classical Ernest Hemingway sense, Americans that have moved overseas, right? As opposed to expatriation, which is a technical legal process of giving up your citizenship. They're just people they're just Americans like you and me, but they've chosen to live in a country other than the United States. As a culture, it's very important for us to be, approachable, right? And rather than put on some salesy facade of, trust and confidence, it's just about being a human being and having conversations with clients. They need to be able to relate to you, and you need to be able to be genuine with them, right? And to tell them about your screw-ups sometimes, as a way of saying, hey, if I think this might be a bad idea, it's based on, my own stupidity at one time, and hey, let's think about this twice before we, proceed.